In the headlines for this hour on VTV News, policies to accelerate scientific and technological advancement. And Đồng Nai welcomes world's largest shipping line. Later on in our war news, tennis atmosphere at Munich Security Conference.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. On Saturday morning, the National Assembly reviewed a draft resolution on piloting new mechanisms and policies to address obstacles in science, technology, innovation, and national digital transformation. The proposals cover 4 key areas: financial expenditure, operational mechanisms for public organizations and their scientific personnel, commercialization of research results, and solution for investment challenges, including public investment, bidding, and control testing for digital transformation and infrastructure development. The review committee noted that the draft resolution effectively implements the Breakthrough Initiative and a number of urgent tasks and solutions in Resolution number 57 and suggested that it is necessary to clarify the content to ensure consistent implementation. Also on Saturday morning, State President Lương Cường attended the Spring Festival at the Vietnam Ethnic Culture and Tourism Village. The State President extended his warm New Year wishes to all compatriots, emphasizing that the festival is more than just a spring celebration. It is a meaningful culture and political event showcasing the beauty of Vietnamese culture through diverse activities. The gathering provides an opportunities for people to deepen their understanding of national culture, strengthen solidarity, and work together toward the country's development. State President Lương Cường called on all levels of government, sectors, and localities to implement effective measures to protect and promote each ethnic group's unique culture's heritage, particularly by recognizing the contributions of artisans, village elders, village chiefs, and respected community leaders. Phước An Port in Đồng Nai province has officially welcomed its first international vessel from MSC, the world's largest shipping line, marking a significant milestone for trade development. As the region's largest and most modern container hub, the port is poised to drive economic growth, particularly in logistics for Đồng Nai and southern Vietnam.
An MSC ship from Singapore has docked at Phước An Port with nearly 1,400 TEUs of goods, including textiles, fabrics, and electronics, opening new global trade connections.
With today's ship arrival, Phước An Port has connected to global markets, creating opportunities to expand economic ties and ensuring a strong trade balance for the port, Đồng Nai, and the southern region.
Phước An Port, covering 550 hectares, is set to handle ships of up to 100,000 DWT and process 6 million TEUs by 2028. By 2025, it aims to handle 200,000 TEUs. The port will also offer on-site container pickup and goods transport, reducing costs and time, providing a key competitive edge for nearby industrial parks.
The port's ability to accommodate large ships provides a strong start, helping local businesses cut costs, ease pressure on other ports, and accelerate the flow of goods.
Phước An Port is part of the Ho Chi Minh City Đồng Nai and Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu seaport system. Its partnerships with major shipping lines to establish an international green transport corridor will help strengthen Vietnam's position in global maritime trade.
Under the recently issued government decrees number 21, the automotive supporting industry will receive a 0% import tax on certain materials through 2027. However, since few companies qualify for these benefits, more effective policies are needed to boost domestic production.
Truck models with domestically produced lifting systems will benefit from a 0% import tax on components like stainless steel floor panels and hydraulic cylinders, down from the original 10 to 25%. This results in lower vehicle prices in the market.
The cost reduction of 10 to 20% will allow us to sell more units and serve more domestic transportation customers, benefiting small and medium enterprises.
The policy's eligibility requirements are strict, while Vietnam's automotive support industry is still developing, with only about 100 local companies serving as first-tier suppliers to auto manufacturers.
Only companies that can both sell directly to car assembly firms and import components will benefit from this incentive. Second-tier companies that can't sell to manufacturers will not qualify for the policy.
The policies for the automotive industry are comprehensive, but more flexibility in implementation is needed. Small and medium-sized or new enterprises should have more adaptable criteria to qualify for support.
Decree 111, issued in 2015 to promote industry development, provided tax incentives but primarily benefited foreign-invested businesses, while few Vietnamese companies could access these benefits. For Vietnam's supporting industry to seize this opportunity, it needs transformative policies that will help achieve production self-sufficiency, technological independence, and integration into global value chains.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is working on an ambitious project in the Mekong Delta to establish 1 million hectares of high-quality, low-emission rice. For this initiative to thrive and elevate Vietnam's rice on the global stage, a stronger foundation is needed. Enhancing cooperative management, strengthening business partnerships, and accelerating the adoption of modern technology are crucial steps forward.
While the results are encouraging, agricultural cooperatives still face major challenges. These include management inefficiencies, lack of synchronized supply chain connections, and resistance to modern farming practices hindering progress. Furthermore, bringing advanced technology into the fields remains an uphill battle.
New techniques, new farming methods, and modern sowing practices require money. We really need this kind of support.
At a recent investment and technology conference, experts discussed the critical role of digital transformation in sustainable rice production. While farmers have begun adopting new scientific techniques, deep integration of technology is essential for long-term success.
We have worked with many companies and technology providers, but the challenge is how to effectively connect them with cooperatives and farmers.
The ministry has worked with cooperative alliances and Japanese corporations. Together, they have successfully piloted digital technology models in rice farming, reducing emissions while improving efficiency. We support agricultural cooperatives with accounting and management software. These are essential tools for scaling up modern farming practices.
Recognizing the financial hurdles, the ministry has worked closely with the State Bank of Vietnam to accelerate credit disbursement. This funding will empower cooperatives to modernize operations, enhance productivity, and strengthen Vietnam's position as a leader in sustainable rice production.
Vietnam's sugarcane yield reached 6.79 tons per hectare last crop year, the highest in the region. This, along with stable prices, has boosted farmers' incomes. The Central Highlands, the country's largest sugarcane sugar electricity production chain, has been established, promoting a circular production model to enhance competitiveness.
This factory processes sugarcane into sugar, using waste to generate electricity. It produces all of its own power needs and sells excess electricity at 7.03 cents kilowatt-hours. The process's byproducts, ash and sludge, are used as fertilizer for the sugarcane.
We produce sugar, we produce power from the bagasse, and also from the waste. We also generate biofertilizer, and the byproducts like molasses also, actually it is a good feed for produce ethanol or alcohol. So there is nothing waste. It's a complete circular economy, and it brings, we also produce biofertilizer, bring back to farmers.
Many sugar factories are adopting a circular economy model, with bagasse used for electricity production to boost revenue. In Phie, over 12,000 farmers earn nearly $4 more per ton of sugarcane, thanks to businesses sharing profits from biomass electricity.
The sugar industry recycles byproducts like ash, sludge, and biofertilizers to fertilize fields, boosting productivity, reducing chemical fertilizer use, and lowering emissions.
Vietnam's circular economy model for sugar production has reduced agricultural emissions while increasing profits, which are reinvested in sugarcane farming. This approach has helped Vietnam become Southeast Asia's leading sugar producer, achieving an average yield of 6.79 tons per hectare and commanding sugarcane prices over $50 per ton.
Coming up next on VTV News, Kiên Giang prevents drought and salinity. And Hue City preserve historic garden houses. In recent days, saline intrusion has increased sharply across these coastal communes of An Biên District, Kiên Giang Province. River salinity level have risen above 20 parts per thousand, prompting local residents and authorities to implement response plans. In Nam Thai A commune, many households have prepared jars and barrels to store fresh water collected during the rainy season for use during this year's drought and saline intrusion. These rainwater reserved for drinking and cooking can sustain families for 2 to 3 months during peak drought conditions. Currently, over 75% of residents in Nam Thai A commune use tap water, while the remainder rely on well water. To address the risk of prolonged drought and salinity, the local government has developed a response plan that includes establishing centralized water supply points and mobilizing vehicles to deliver water, with particular focus on poor households and elderly residents living alone. In many households, after the Tết holidays, have to consume a large amount of leftover food. I've known that on some occasions to just give up consuming and just simply throw food away. This is just a huge waste. Vietnam, despite being a developing country, ranks second in the world in food waste, according to the Global Food Bank Network.
Chung cake, jams, and candies fill the table. The fridge stays packed long after the holiday. Boiled chicken and sticky rice cakes get cut up and frozen.
After Tết, I talked to my colleagues, and we all had the same problem: too much leftover food. My own family still has 2 chickens, 2 chung cakes, and piles of other types of cakes and jams.
I saw people throwing away baskets of food after Tết. The amount of waste was shocking.
It's not just households. Restaurants also contribute significantly to food waste. Buffet-style dining, despite having strict regulations on food leftovers, still sees excessive waste.
Many customers take too much food and leave it unfinished. Some even burn or mix food together to avoid extra charges. Unfortunately, we have no choice but to throw it all away.
Beyond the financial loss, food waste also damages the environment. Decomposing food releases methane gas, a major contributor to climate change. In Vietnam alone, over 8 million tons of food are wasted each year. It is equivalent to $3.9 billion in losses, nearly 1% of the country's GDP. Fighting food waste starts with small changes, only taking what we can eat and making the most of every meal. A little effort can go a long way in reducing waste, saving money, and protecting the environment.
In the early days of the new year, Phu Quoc City, Kiên Giang Province has already welcomed nearly 80,000 international visitors. This number continues to rise as this morning the Ida Stella cruise ship brought over 2,100 international tourists to the Pearl Islands for sightseeing and tourism. To ensure tourist safety and smooth transits from the ship to the mainland, the locality has temporarily put the international passenger port in Jeongdong Ward into operation. Following this cruise ship visit, 2 more luxury cruise ships carrying over 5,500 tourists will arrive in Phú Quốc on February 16 and 20th for island tours. Foreign visitors to Côn Đảo forest and sea tourism have increased sharply since the beginning of the year. According to the management board of Côn Đảo National Park in Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province, the park has welcomed over 3,540 visitors in the past month, an increase of 14% over the same period last year. International visitors comprise more than half of this total. Popular activities include watching the sea turtles lay eggs at night, releasing hatchings into the sea in the morning, swimming, coral diving, and exploring the ocean and pristine mangrove forests. Ancient garden houses, particularly those in rural villages, are a unique cultural treasure of Hue City. The historic home showcased their perfect harmony between human life and nature, balancing spiritual and material elements. And thanks to local government support, many of these centuries-old structures have been restored.
Ho Văn Bing lives in a 120-year-old garden house, which he proudly maintains as a family heirloom. At nearly 80 years of age, he still diligently cleans the house and tends to the garden each day. The family received $24,000 USD in restoration support in 2017, helping preserve the house's historic beauty.
With the support of the government, we have done our best to preserve the traditional houses of Hue.
Hue garden houses follow feng shui principles, featuring gates, alleys, rock gardens, and courtyards, with the ancient wooden house as their centerpiece. Since many of these structures have deteriorated over time, local authorities have funded restoration projects to preserve Hue's cultural heritage.
This house is over 100 years old. Thanks to government support, the restoration process is nearly complete.
We encourage the community, along with local authorities, to preserve and restore the ancient garden houses, helping to promote Hue's cultural heritage.
Hue's garden houses serve as both peaceful retreats and cultural tourist destinations, where nature and humanity exist in perfect harmony. Visitors can experience the rich history of the ancient capital while gaining a deeper understanding of life during that era.
The ceremony welcomed Bát Tràng Ceramics and Vạn Phúc Silk Weaving Villages into the World Craft City Network was held Friday night at Thăng Long Imperial Citadel in Hanoi. These 2 renowned craft villages in Hanoi met all economic, culture, social, and environmental criteria set by the World Craft Council. They are the first traditional craft villages from Vietnam to join this network. In a 6-year history, the World Crafts Council has recognized 68 craft villages from 27 countries worldwide. The Makong Drum Festival recently took place in Cao Rong Village, Thượng Trạch Commune, Bố Trạch District, Quảng Bình Province. This sacred ceremony is deeply rooted in the culture and belief of the Bru Vân Kiều ethnic group. Each year in mid-January, the Makong people celebrate this unique culture festival, drawing both locals and visitors to witness the traditions.
In the largest village courtyard, beside a row of thatched houses, the ceremony begins beneath the high moon. The village elder conducts the sacred ritual, throwing rice in 4 directions by praying to the gods for blessings, peace for Cao Rong village, good health for the Makong people, and a bountiful harvest.
I pray to invite the gods to partake in the villagers' offerings and to bestow good fortune upon our village.
The festival begins with the resonant sound of drums as strong young men compete to strike them. The mystical, sacred drum beats symbolize the indomitable spirit of the Makong people. The drum must be beaten until it tears before dawn breaks. This annual ritual gave rise to what is now known as the Makong Drum Festival.
I believe this is a cultural festival that should be preserved for future generations, as it is a unique cultural feature of the Thungchak commune.
In 2019, the Makong Drum Festival in Guangbing earned recognition as a national intangible cultural heritage. The Makong community continues to preserve and practice the festival's distinctive traditions, passing them down authentically from generation to generation.
Coming up next in our War News, tense atmosphere at Munich Security Conference. An Arab nation developed Gaza reconstruction plan without resident displacement. At the Munich Security Conference on Friday, leaders from the European Union, the US, and China presented their views on global security. On the sidelines, Ukraine's president held discussion with the EU leaders and the US vice president. The atmosphere was tense during the opening speeches as Germany president criticized the US for not considering long-standing partner relations in handling the Ukraine issue. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen called for a just peace and emphasized that the US must resolve the Ukraine issue in a way that doesn't weaken EU-US relations. In response, US Vice President Vance urged Europe to strengthen its own defense within the alliance. China Foreign Minister Wang Yi expressed support for a multipolar, equal world order. Jordan Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi stated on Friday that Arab countries are drafting a reconstruction plan for Gaza that does not involve relocating its residents. He also acknowledged that Jordan cannot take in more Palestinians as they already make up 35% of Jordan population. This announcement follows Jordan King Abdullah's U.S. first visit earlier this week, where he reaffirmed his opposition to President Donald Trump's plan to take over Gaza. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio mentioned that he hopes to discuss new proposals regarding Gaza during his visit to Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Israel, after talks in Washington with Egypt and Jordan. U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order on Friday to establish a new National Energy Dominance Council aimed at meeting the massive electricity demands of the artificial intelligence race. The new councils will coordinate energy policy across federal agencies, streamline permitting, and manage the extractions and distributions of energy resources. This move aligned with Trump's campaign promise to promote domestic oil and gas production. The executive order also aims to address the rising energy costs driven by U.S. trade wars. The growing electricity demand from the AI industry is placing a significant burden on the U.S. already overloaded power grid. A mesmerizing world of balloons, light, and movement has transformed Rome Balloon Museum into a playground of imagination and art. This immersive exhibition invites visitors into a realm where art meets air, blurring the line between creativity and interaction. More to follow.
Visitors gazed in awe as balloons cascaded from above, children swung beneath glowing sculptures, and families explored a house-shaped installation filled with floating spheres. Giant balls rolled freely across the space, while others dove into a sea of white balloons, fully immersing themselves in the experience.
The exhibition is really fun, with definitely unique dimensions, making it quite unusual. It is great because it offers a moment of lightheartedness, while also giving you the opportunity to reflect on the various themes that the different artists have brought together through their work. So, It is not just about relaxation and entertainment. Diving into the ball pit is certainly an experience not to be missed.
The best thing, in my opinion, is that the exhibition appeals to both children and adults. It is something that everyone can enjoy. And more than just play, it is also culture. Even children, who might initially see it as just a fun experience, can begin to understand the beauty of art and culture.
Designed to inspire wonder and playfulness, the exhibition welcomes visitors of all ages to explore, interact, and dream. It will remain open until March 30th, 2025.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's all the news for today. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4go or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.